Shadow of the Colossus forces you to steer into the blackness of your own heart, yet you can still find beauty within it. It makes no illusion about what type of world you're stepping into. The Forbidden Lands are cast into shadow. A thick blanket of grey hangs above the ground, whilst even duller smoke clouds cover the sky with only cracks in its vast ash providing sunlight. What I've just described should be apocalyptic, a war-torn land littered with remains of lives that used to be. So then, why is the world I'm faced with so gorgeous despite its gloom? These are supposed to be lands untouched by humans for hundreds or thousands of years. Shouldn't it have become a paradise in full bloom? Could the lingering curse of Dorman be withholding the beauty of the land, keeping it masked in a dismal aura? That's just the thing. The Forbidden Lands are beautiful. They do teem with forests and fauna. They have diverse biomes, cragged cliffs of chalk with the wind whipping off the surface of dust, smog-covered fields of geysers producing a haze of black, massive lakes filled to the brim with deep, mysterious blue water with hypnotic qualities, pale deserts perpetuated by tempestuous gales, and somehow, all of these places, across every minute of the game, maintain the overlying theme of barren depression. That is the level of talent we are dealing with here. Team Ico and Bluepoint have mastered the craft of world building and atmosphere, that no matter how beautiful they make this world, they never lose hold of the atmosphere. And that's what Shadow of the Colossus does better than any game I've played. Atmosphere. There isn't any UI, the game slaves away to the idea of immersion, although the pure white of the pause menu could be a reminder of your lost love, waiting in the temple, trying to spur you into finishing the journey. There's no music whilst you ride these plains, not even the ambience of the world around you. The whole valley sits in silence, sharply punctuated by your encouragements to aggro and the galloping of his hooves. There's no level design to speak of. Your way forward should be self-evident. The game guides you across the vastness by having a clearly defined structure or path for you to head towards. Yet this utter muteness in audio and world design leaves the player's mind wondering, what are they doing here? Why would they go through with this? That's the difference between Death Stranding and Shadow of the Colossus. Death Stranding puts on some silence and a few obstacles and expects the player to think about the game. Colossus presents questions and motives for the player to ponder and the downtime to consider them, and it did it without a 40-minute cutscene and Norman Reedus throwing a piss grenade. In a giant open world game, you know how there's so many characters and quest givers all vying for the main character's attention? Having that many relationships starts to make people and faces blend. When too many people want to talk to you, you spend less and less time with individuals, and in turn lose interest in them. I think that's the major reason why when a character is killed in a game, people just don't really feel anything. You've met too many people in this world to care about just one. Shadow of the Colossus tries the complete inversion. Aggro is the one constant in your life. Hell, he's the only thing in your life. There's no one to talk to, which doesn't mean you speak to Aggro, but he's the only thing the player can latch onto during their isolation. This singular non-verbal focus with a creature who has no concept of what it is, or what its master is, or what it's seen, or what it's doing, transforms into one of the strongest bonds I've formed, even if I didn't realize it until the end of the game. Mono, Wanda's love interest, doesn't give me a lot to base her character on, but her snow-white dress clearly indicates purity and innocence. If she were aware of what was being sacrificed in her name, she would be abhorrently disgusted, yet she will forever remain oblivious to what was given up so that she may live. So after all that, I think it's been established pretty well that Shadow of the Colossus is a somber game, shrouded in a disheartening atmosphere. But here's the mind-boggling thing about that atmosphere I've praised so much. It's able to go from oppressive disenchantment to over-the-top epicness at the drop of a hat. How does a game with such depressive downtime masterfully balance riding your horse away from a serpent while you're trying to shoot arrows into its eyes to blind it? I don't understand how this game goes from one extreme to the other 16 times over 5 hours. It's like swapping between Doom Eternal on Ultra Nightmare and chopping trees in Animal Crossing New Horizons. On paper, this should lead to a jumbled mishmash of mood, yet it's able to swap between them on a dime. Going from bleak writing to Colossi battle is self-explanatory. Likewise, in most storytelling, you go from a low mood to a high mood. What's impressive is how the game manages to recapture its melancholy atmosphere almost immediately. And I think we have one thing to thank for bringing the mood down. Almost immediately after you kill a Colossus, this piece of music plays. This sorrowful sonnet sounds like your prey is crying out in great pain, not understanding why it had to die. It puts an immediate damper as you watch Wanda get punished for his murder. That's how the game recaptures its somber mood. Shadow of the Colossus should always be pointed to when asked what game has a mastery of atmosphere. The sharp contrasts of mood would crush a lesser game under its weight, yet Colossus never loses hold on your emotions. It's a game that poses moral quandaries and gives you the time to ponder them. Shadow of the Colossus is the very definition of beauty within the bleak.